Good morning. Today is March 3rd, 2023. The time is 5:45 a.m. I want to start with the Committee on Oversight and Accountability. And I'm going to read this here. This is a press release published on March 1st, 2023. And the Committee on Oversight and Accountability. It says our mission statement is to ensure the efficiency, effectiveness, and accountability of the federal government and all its agencies. We provide a check and balance on the role and power of Washington and a voice to the people it serves. Winstrup to hold first hearing on COVID origins. I'm going to read this whole thing because I want to express my personal feelings. Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic Chairman Brad Winstrup will hold the panel's first hearing of the 118th Congress on investigating the origins of COVID-19 to gather facts about the origination of the virus that has claimed nearly 7 million lives globally. Mounting evidence continues to point to the virus originating from a lab leak, with the Department of Energy and Federal Bureau of Investigation Director Wray announcing this week they believe, based on their evaluation of the evidence, COVID-19 likely came from a lab leak in Wuhan. The American people deserve real answers after years of suffering through the coronavirus pandemic and related government policies. This investigation must begin with where and how this virus came about so that we can attempt to predict, prepare, protect, or prevent it from happening again. Government scientists and government-funded researchers have so far been less than forthcoming in their knowledge and actions, including work with Wuhan Institute of Virology and potential pandemic pathogens. We can't accept more years of stonewalling. The Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic is committed to conducting a proper investigation that the American people have demanded. We look forward to hearing from our esteemed witnesses next week about their research on this topic, said Select Subcommittee Chairman Winstrup. Interesting. That's very interesting. The Select Subcommittee are now entertaining the idea that the virus was a lab leak. Interesting. Let's move it forward. Now, this is on March 1st, 2023. And this is a document or a thread, a tweet from the World Health Organization. Breaking. WHO has received the genetic sequence for the novel coronavirus 2019 from the Chinese authorities. We expect them to be made publicly available as soon as possible. World Health Organization, January 11th, 2020. Genetic sequence of the novel coronavirus will allow countries to develop specific diagnostic kits, quickly identify and then care for anyone infected, and ensure better health outcomes and containment of the virus. Who thanks the Chinese authorities for their commitment to sharing information on the novel coronavirus as they continue intensive surveillance and follow-up measures, including environmental investigations. Moderna's work on a potential vaccine against COVID-19. Moderna is proud to be among the many groups working to respond to this continuing global health emergency. This page summarizes key milestones in our work to advance our vaccine candidate, messenger RNA 1273, and responds to frequently asked questions. Timeline of our response through March 16th, 2020. On January 11th, 2020, the Chinese authorities shared the genetic sequence of the novel coronavirus. On January 13th, 2020, the U.S. National Institute of Health and Moderna's infectious disease research team finalized a sequence for messenger RNA 1273, the company's vaccine against the novel coronavirus. At that time, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, NIAID, part of NIH, disclosed their intent to run a phase 1 study using messenger RNA 1273 vaccine in response to the coronavirus threat, and Moderna mobilized toward clinical manufacture. Manufacture of this batch was funded by the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation, CEPI. The Moderna and Pfizer BioNTech messenger RNA vaccines delivered the genetic sequence of the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein directly to the cell. The messenger RNA molecule includes a code that causes the cell to make the spike protein. Immune system cells recognize the spike protein and a protective immune response results. The spike protein genetic code does not enter the cell's nucleus, only the cytoplasm. The messenger RNA needs to be encapsulated in a lipid fat nanoparticle to enter the cell. A team of scientists, a team led by Professor Yongxing Zhang of Fudan University in Shanghai, posts the genetic sequence of the virus on an open access platform, sharing it with the world. China, CDC, and 2 other Chinese teams subsequently also post genetic sequences of the virus on an open access platform. China shares the virus genome sequence with WHO. CEPI was founded, let's get that nice and big like the others. Get it up there too. Let's see here. Did I get it too big? I gotta get it up here. Okay. Oops. Let's take it back down. Sometimes I don't do things too smoothly. Let's go back all the way down. We have to get all the way. Oops. Too far down. Whoops. 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 Sorry about that. Sometimes I just don't do things good. Sometimes it just takes time to get to the part you want, the most important part. Oh, look at Seppi! Ah, look at Seppi! Seppi, Seppi, Seppi. Okay, so here it is here. It says investors council. Oh, okay, wait a minute. I got to get back here. Investors. Okay, investors and partners. CEPI was founded in Davos by the governments of Norway and India. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Wellcome, and the World Economic Forum. Let's repeat that. CEPI was founded in Davos, by the governments of Norway and India, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Wellcome, and the World Economic Forum. That's interesting here. That's interesting. When you go here and you hear them say, when you hear Christopher Wray announcing that this virus is a lab leak, type of a lab leak? What leaked from the lab? Something leaked from the lab, and they used the genetic sequence from whatever leaked from the lab and created a vaccine funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the World Economic Forum. What's in the vials? What leaked from the lab that you put in a vial and people's body? It says here the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines deliver the genetic sequence. What genetic sequence? Something that came from China that leaked from a lab? What's in the vials? What's in the vials? This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I don't even know where to begin with. I mean, you tell me that Christopher Wray announced this week they believe, based on their evaluation of the evidence, COVID-19 likely came from a lab leak in Wuhan. They don't know what the intermediate animal host is. Now, if this is a coronavirus, it has to go through an intermediate animal host before it can affect humans. But they're saying, well, this leaked from a lab in Wuhan, China, and traveled all the way across the globe almost simultaneously. How? How is this a lab leak that spread all across the globe all at once? What was its mode of transportation? How did it go from a single solitary substance to a worldwide dispersion all over the globe, all at once? Even a person on death row died of this virus. You got to ask yourself, well, how did it get there? Somebody needs to explain. Somebody needs to explain. Why did the United States, I can't believe this, on January 11th, 2020, the Chinese authorities shared the genetic sequence of a novel coronavirus, and the United States jumps all over this and then mandate this vaccine funded by globalists, mandating that this vaccine funded by globalists be injected into every human being. I'll leave it there.